reviewers of the internet!
Hello, this is Doug Walker, aka that guy with the glasses. And I am, for lack of a better word, the director of the 7-part online movie Suburban Nights. This is the 3rd year anniversary of the comedy site thatguywiththeglasses.com. The first year we got several of our producers together for a brawl, and it was a big hit. The second year we got our producers together for the invasion of a micronation in Reno, and it was also a big hit. So the pressure was on to make the 3rd year anniversary even bigger than the other two. Both were shot with the producers in only 4 days as scheduling could allow, and this time would be no exception. This would be tricky seeing how the script, now written by both me and my brother Rob Walker, clocked in at just a little over 2 hours. The longest Kick-Assy ever reached was 1.5 hours. But as always, we wanted to outdo ourselves. The plan was to prepare more, shoot a lot of my scenes later, and choose locations that would be more accommodating than the rocky grounds of Reno. This did not go according to plan. Problems began with scheduling. There was a big debate about who could come, when they could come, and what week all of them would be available to shoot. Because of this, the script was delayed and constantly changed. And let's be honest, it's kind of hard to write for people you're not entirely sure are going to be in your movie or not. This meant we didn't have a lot of time to check out our equipment, despite the fact that we were now using a new camera. And again, we had to use the mic that we used from Kick-Assy to cut down on wind resistance. Bargo filmed the behind-the-scenes footage.
Day 1. Pickups. And explaining the schedule. Doug! We're all gonna die! Yeah, so everything's going pretty well.
We had trouble again on the days of picking people up. Despite the fact that 2 days ago it called for sunny skies, this is what we got. Causing several flights to be delayed and even cancelled. But for the producers who did make it in, this didn't dampen their spirits. Or their lust for arm wrestling.
Wow! You've been working out. This is a strong girl. Wait a minute! Hey!
Oh!
That's what you get!
Over the top, too.
Oh, expect to see fanfic of this.
Go, 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 go! Over the top. That's on the redhead!
Keep custody of your kid.
Come on, Lupa, go over the top! We're going the distance with this.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not so slow.
It's Lupa! No one's guilty!
You shouldn't be turning me on. Somebody please, dear God, do it. We're getting bored.
Yeah.
If you lose, Lindsay, Dune is the better movie.
Someone win! Someone! Oh.
Lindsay's like copy the
This is my weaker arm, and I'm really tired.
My weaker arm too.
I've been awake for the past 24 hours.
I'm a girl.
Wow. That was really surprising.
He's a strong little Frenchman.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I can lift up anybody on this table.
Alright, let's do it.
There were others who were like,
Land on your feet. Make sure you land on your feet.
this is not the place to pick up chicks.
It's just like, oh, that's so sweet.
Let me down now.
Benza is cut, man.
Benza is cut.
Shit.
Speaking of cut.
Watch
My
his
car is kind
back.
of heavy though. Like, I couldn't keep.
Have Benza as my bodyguard. Shit.
Alright, it's pretty much, in a way, it's gonna sort of be like Kick-Assy in that the 4 days we shoot, it's just gonna be straight through. Yeah, it's just gonna be straight through. But the good news is, I'll tell you as I get to the schedule here. Okay, Wednesday, that's tomorrow. Everybody's gonna be in the lobby, ready to leave at 7 o'clock. not 7:10, not 7:20, 7 o'clock, and we're gonna make it to my house. At my house, we're gonna shoot all the indoor scenes, which is, that's both Team 1 and 2. And we're going to shoot all the indoor scenes where we all meet up, we get in the costumes. So bring your costume with, you'll be able to change there.
We have rooms you can change in, all hidden cameras will be removed.
Well, most of them. So, Thursday, the weather is supposed to be good, and that's going to be Team 1. We're going to be in the lobby at 6 a.m. This is something where we need as much daylight as possible because we're shooting a lot. Now, the other thing with that is that anytime I make a big speech or we have somebody that's saying a lot of lines that lives here, we're just going to shoot that stuff later so we can get our scenes done. Friday, that's going to be Team 2. So that means that on Thursday, everybody in Team 2, you get that day off. You don't have to worry about anything. Nice. Saturday is the big climax. That's the, that's all the scenes in the field, so that's us in the field, leaving, telling Monty to piss off. And then the big climax where Mati comes back and tells us to piss off. Possibly going to be the most physical. Yes.
Why do you hate us?
Yeah. I will address this one. For those who are upset they have to get up at 6, keep this in mind. I'm going to be standing on my feet all day filming all this, and unlike some teams who get a break, I will be doing it 2 days in a row. So any complaints can be directed to my fist!
Well, now here's the good news. Not only does everybody get a break in between filming, every team gets a break, but after Saturday, Sunday is totally free. Monday is totally free. Those are totally reserved for whatever. Comas, crossovers, all that stuff. And keep in mind, all of you get a day off in between as well.
Feel free to bring your jackets along and cover up. If you feel like you're getting hypothermia or something, we've got a St. Bernard with like a cask, but we can put you in the car with the heater on. We can work something out.
Although the weather, is supposed to be good, what happens if the worst happens and it just like rains all the way through the entire time?
Pray.
That's plan 1. I'm not joking.
Well, just do
plan 2, which it's very, very unlikely. If that did happen, our backup plan was to do an entirely improvised murder mystery inside the house, which, would probably look which would probably be terrible, but at least it'd be giving people something. It's very, very unlikely because the weather really has been.
That is a Hail Mary pass.
In 2 days and a lot of Mountain Dew and I'll have something hammered out for you.
Yeah, I mean it's very, very unlikely. I said the only day where they're saying there could possibly be rain pretty much is Friday. So that's a day we're just like, well, just pray, get through it. It should be okay. And even though, like I said, it's not thunderstorms. They said today it was going to be thunderstorms. It's just rain.
I hate you more than I've ever hated
You just
anyone.
gave me coffee.
What are you?
Just now starting production, principal photography.
I'm not in this room yet, so all this kind of I'll mill over.
Ready and go. Good.
I wasn't feeling it from you, Brad.
I didn't believe that nod.
I didn't get here earlier.
This is the first time I'm seeing this.
You were normal for a while.
This is
disgusting.
Yeah, it really is. That's always
You want to
done.
go downstairs with me?
Ooh, wow, you're like going to a wedding.
Yeah, everyone's been humming the wedding cathedral music.
Oh, damn. You're gonna kill my... Oh, I killed your father. Yeah.
You did.
Nice.
It looked like I'm being pooped out of a moose.
Potato bear. The meme is alive.
They don't know.
Can you do the claw?
The mental images.
Yes. Look at these sexy, sexy men.
Yeah.
God, this is hot. This, interesting.
Who's popular on YouTube?
Did you do your
I
own makeup?
didn't,
It's really applied.
Alright. And Dr. Jones.
I'm very tired right now, Shorty.
That's Holly, the site administrator. What do you got there?
Highlighters. Amazing. 4 colors.
Hey, is it just me, or does it feel like we're pre-gaming for a Halloween party?
It kind of does.
So the first day of shooting begun, and for the most part it went pretty well. It was longer than expected, but the scenes were shot and people seemed to have fun. When they could.
people don't realize that being an actor, majority of it is waiting. Waiting for an absolution that may never come.
About the gayest musical I can think of.
Oh no, there's... Okay, musicals, there's gayer.
Oh, not one that
Rent.
annoys me as much.
Rent.
Rent is my most hated musical.
Annie.
Annie is
Mia.
pretty awful.
I hate, this is me alone, but I hate Spring
I'm going
Awakening.
pre-19. Which one's...
Spring Awakening.
Oh, wait, another one.
Yeah, it's like the most generically titled musical ever.
Well, excuse him for trying to introduce the idea that maybe knights shouldn't go around bashing each other in the head.
That's why they carry swords, to cut flowers.
No, it's gay!
Oh, you shall not pass!
Awesome.
All right. Good stuff.
And then day 2 happened. Day fucking 2.
Hi, I'm Suede. We're here in the bright, sunny, sun-drenched beaches of Chicago, and we're here filming.
Please be careful.
We're here filming the great anniversary video. Apparently, Barker's doing this for his weblog, but I'm hoping he's not going to put it on until after the thing's actually been released, because it's meant to be a huge surprise that I'm in it. So, surprise, everyone! Yay!
So yeah, Bemis Woods is closed, and now we're in a desperate situation.
Who's bitching?
Wait, didn't they say that it might just be not open yet?
They have these permit things, and I swear to God, I was like, Doug, you gotta get a fucking permit for every single place you go. They might charge you, but you'll not regret it because at least it'll be open. And if they charge you, it'll be like $30 at the outset. You know, come on. And we're in Chicago. They probably don't give a shit. Why are we driving around? It's like 6 a.m. I was like freaking out.
I'm thinking the whole haunted house murder mystery thing as a last-ditch effort would be the best thing to go.
It turns out we got there 10 minutes early, so the place wasn't open yet. So we decided to get the team breakfast and headed out to our location. The area we were originally supposed to film in got flooded, so we had to keep principal photography to the narrow street.
Ensign, what is that near us? I think it's a Rob. A Rob Walker. Transitioning to warmth.
On top of that, despite it being unbelievably warm weather for several weeks, a sudden cold chill swept through the town. And guess who was right in the middle with little covering themselves?
No, it's okay.
This is Benzai's warm-up routine when it's cold out here.
Never mind. I'm stupid. I was thinking. Okay. Yeah. So we're
There. Look at that sexy motherfucker.
People could see their breath, producers were huddling for warmth, and every time I thought it was safe to go to the car and get some pants, another scene came up where I had to show my bulbous goosebump legs. God, this joke wasn't worth it.
It is now hour 3-ish, and actually no, about 2.5. And we've gone from, there's the guys filming, and we've gone from standing all the time to just going into one giant sit pile, which is nice. Keeps us warm.
As the day went on, it seemed like the cold disappeared, and that perhaps it was just a morning spell.
I'm gonna turn around and start
It's finally time for Sage's scene. I mean, Suede's scene.
Did you call me Sage?
Did you want your coat?
I'm like the third person to do this.
Okay.
But as the day grew longer, the cold came back. Harsher than ever.
It's just beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Damn! We come back.
Yeah.
When it's warmer.
To make things worse, scenes were taking much longer than expected. At first we thought we could come back and shoot it one of the extra days, like we did with Kickassia. But as we checked the weather reports, not only were the next few days possibly calling for colder temperatures, but also more rain, more thunderstorms, and even hail. Because of this, the shots had to be done that day, but we were losing light, losing time, and losing patience.
Like, maybe another half hour late, about a half hour late.
We're all miserable.
It's getting colder and colder and colder. Our line producer Holly said that we need to wrap up soon or people are going to freeze. I couldn't have agreed more. We white-knuckled everything else we had to do. One-shot takes, cutting several big scenes, scaling down lines to only the bare minimum, shooting only what we absolutely needed.
So does that mean that Beavis Woods is a wrap?
Yes.
For everyone else here, yes.
Yes.
But the day wasn't over. We still had to shoot the Chuck Jaffer scene at a friend's house. Seeing how it was already getting dark, we had to shoot a lot of the outside scenes with Bargo inside, which I think was a relief to most people. The mood was quiet, very quiet. People were exhausted and possibly sick because I kept them out so long. Even Lewis, who practically breathes video making, was having a hard time keeping a chipper attitude.
Big, strong hand! Shut up! Alright, now do one from just where you were.
Okay.
Alright, a little louder, Phelan.
As the day finally came to a close, we took the producers out for pizza. It was the least we could do after making them suffer so much.
Apparently, like, I need to try it. Let's go to the car bomb or whatever.
Oh, it's curling! No way!
Then another ball dropped.
So yeah, today is Friday, 4/22, and basically, as you can tell, it is like really stormy, so it's not really practical to do any of our outdoor stuff. Luckily, we have 2 extra crossover days that we're going into, but the weather doesn't look good, which means we may just have one more sunny day. We have a whole Team 2 stuff to do, as well as a whole climax scene. So that's a lot of work. We may have to do split teams. Not sure yet what the walkers have planned for, but definitely everybody's getting nervous, myself included. With the weather the way it is, we are going to have to really break down our contingencies. So hopefully we can make this happen one way or the other.
We're going to have problems with the departures because we got massive storms coming in on Tuesday now.
So it looks like there's going to be some delays on that end. And this is Mike, our CEO.
Hey.
As you can see, he's not in the best of spirits at the moment. Basically, we have a lot of stuff that we need to... let's just put it this way. We're in the process of possibly making this the feature. Hey!
Day 3 had to be canceled, which meant the schedule had to be pushed back to include Easter as one of the shooting days. Several extras that we asked to perform had to decline because they wanted to be with their families on the holiday. And to make things worse, it was said that the storm was going to last the whole week. I spent most of the day making calls in bed. I didn't shower, I didn't eat, I didn't even brush my teeth. That was pretty fucking gross. I was convinced I totally doomed this production. How could we explain the rain in this kind of story? Why would a girl want to go on a playground if it's raining? How could we fight or perform stunts on a muddy ground? How many more scenes will we have to cut because of slow shooting? And how could we risk the producers putting up with any more than they already have?
Lupa, give me more room. God.
Sorry.
As many of the performers signed autographs for the group photo, Mike Machad, Bargo, Rob, and myself all gathered at Mike's place to discuss the future of the production, which we all could see was undeniably shaky.
Everybody who's on Team 2 or whatever is going to have to come back on Sunday. So if that happens, then that team will have been out 2 days in a row, particularly for the climax, which is going to be entirely outside.
The main reason I didn't do it today, I mean, of course the weather is really bad, but
the main reason I didn't do it is that I realized is that you can't have a scene where a girl wants to go on a playground and it's raining. No girl would go on a playground while raining. But the other things that I'm thinking of, honestly, is, you know, when I'm wearing that, whatever, that kilt, the cold in the last third of that finally got to me, and I'm realizing...
Doug literally was shivering.
Yeah, and it actually got painful. I'm realizing with Benzai, with Mickey, with Kaylin, and myself, I'm concerned people are going to get sick. But on top of that, the amount of time that's taking to film this is just, it is taking longer, and we're having to cut a lot of scenes. Now, not only cut scenes, but there's a lot of scenes we're going to have to film later, and because of that, the production could, you know, instead of like, I think with Kick-Ass it was what, a month to edit. I mean, this could take anywhere from 2 to 3 months to edit. And on top of that, we probably have to just rely on the nostalgia critics because I don't think I'd have time to do other videos.
But that's what we're saying. What was a project that we wanted to get out right away would take 3 months. Doug would be only down to doing the NCs.
Say we can get this, let me scrap this project. How much do you have that's usable so we can put into something later on?
Well, defines it. I mean,
it'd be something that'd be more of just like, this is what happened, all these
for a documentary or mockumentary, it could be done.
I think the idea behind this was, I mean, every year we do this, we always try to do something bigger. You know, we try to top ourselves, and I think we may have finally gotten to a point where, with the time frame that we have, we may have been on more than we
we're
could
limited with their time, so all of them are doing this full time. So I mean, it's always going to be a week.
Yeah, I mean,
for a majority of the people.
I think when we did the Brawl, we had to shoot that one day, and that seemed impossible. We did it. With Kick-Ass, we had to do that in 4 days. Yeah, it seemed impossible. We did it. I think with this, I think we honestly thought we could do this, but the fact that we, you know, that is the weather, it is the temperature, that there is a shorter amount of time. We can't really move around days because of the weather.
This was more once we got there. I mean, God, what did we do? It was like what, 7 to 8?
No, it was the first day of shooting inside was 12 hours. The second day, I believe, was 14 actually. 14. And again, even that wasn't enough time. I really do.
It may just have been over ambition.
I'd rather not have them work on Easter.
It's
so wrong.
I don't want them to work on Easter either.
Well, then we have to make a decision because either they're working on Easter or it doesn't get done.
Obviously.
So that's the thing. We could go 2 routes. We could do a mockumentary, or we could make it a documentary. Basically, one would be jokey, kind of tongue-in-cheek, poking fun at the truths that did happen. The other would be straight up, probably not funny, except with a couple of like really dry humor things.
I think the mockumentary would be the feature then.
I don't think that's what people want to see. I think they would actually want to see what we were going to do. You know, and the nice thing is because we do have a good chunk of footage shot. I mean, we could edit some of these scenes together.
Still, they're all together. They're all filming crosses, which people like to see. And the fact that we're showing what went wrong and telling what went wrong and explaining all this.
I'm not entirely against it. I'm just saying that's the concern.
Rob brings up a very good point that as a company, is that going to make us look bad?
I don't think so. I think it'd be commendable that we're willing to admit our mistakes. Other than the fact of the rent-a-cars, the food, the lodging, and the airfare, we still haven't put really much money into the production. I mean, with the projects,
those things.
I mean, that's the biggest. That's all our productions are. It's pretty much bringing them here and having a few props where we don't have the time or the ability to be able to put these big productions together right now. But as we get bigger and we do get a location and we start filming higher quality stuff, we'll be able to show what we can do there. I honestly say we just go to documentary approach. I think we just go that approach. That will be the thing we show. And then I don't know, I mean, that's the only thing we can do.
The only one missing from that meeting was Holly, who was also pretty busy herself. When she heard about the decision we were going to make, she called another emergency meeting just a few minutes after the last one ended. She told us that not only could the production be finished, but the crew actually wants to finish it. True, it may not be as good as you intended, she said, but leaving now would be a much bigger mistake than not trying to follow through. After a good hour of trying to figure out what the right thing to do is, we finally came to a reasonable outcome. We let the producers decide. We gathered everybody in a room to tell them the situation and began handing out sheets of paper for people to vote whether or not they wanted to finish the production or abandon it. And then this happened.
Okay, so here we've been talking over, and pretty much we want to be sure that we're all on the same page here. Since production's begun, for some people they say, oh wow, this is a lot easier than Kick-Assy, this is so much more relaxed. For others, they're like, oh man, this is But I want to see with everyone here, I want to be sure that everyone is on board with it. Because yesterday, a lot of people, it got very cold. A lot of us were not wearing much. And I could tell people were getting cranky. We're running out of time and stuff like that. I want to be sure that people can do this. And if you feel like, no, this isn't good, we're handing out sheets of paper right now. Just write down, no, if you feel, no, I'm on board. I really want to finish this. I want this to be stuff like that.
We're crumple it up and throw it.
I'll take that to
I knew what y'all were coming with, and we've already talked about it. All of us are on board. We all took an independent
the paper is a waste of time. I mean, like, I was freezing my ass off just to confirm.
Team B, you guys are aware that we could have rain in these.
Team B is
filming the rain. I can't promise we won't be cranky, but we will do it.
No, I can promise we won't be cranky. And also, Sunday and Monday, we don't care about. Like Easter does not. We're here. We're giving up everything in order to finish the production. And then what we'll do is we'll work all the way till it's completed. Yeah, it may not be the best, the lighting may be this and that, but that's all stuff that you can figure out in editing. And I know you know how to edit, and you can create things, create magic in editing, and find different ways to make things work. So if we just all work to get to a single goal, finishing it, you know, we need any crossover days. Sunday, Monday, we'll work Easter, we'll work whatever. We talked about it.
We can extend on Monday as well.
Yeah, because Doug, we want to help. Like, we really want to see the project to completion, and we want you to use us to the best of our ability.
So I don't think we are at your disposal.
If I'm complaining, I'm just saying, like, I'm definitely happy to be there. I hope, like, this doesn't inspire, like...
That's cool. I apologize for yesterday when I like said I'm hot and tired of my feet, or I am very sorry about that.
We might be miserable on the set, but the day after we'll look back on it and say, that was fucking awesome.
I'm doing my speech, Doug. Wait. 2 years ago, Margo gathered us together in a room. Most of us here were not here for that, so let me repeat what he said. We are the best of the best. And if we are the best of the best, you, sir, are the best of the best of the best. You are that guy with the glasses. It is your website that we are on. Without you, I would not be here. I would have never been inspired to make comic book videos. There would be no nostalgia chick. There would have been a nostalgia chick contest to get attention on Mars Girl. There would not have been so many of us. You got us started, sir. I am proud to work for you, sir. I know that you can do this.
Everybody, I will say that, yeah, I mean, I was concerned looking at people, you know, because of the cold and stuff, I was concerned. Hearing that gives me so much motivation, guys.
A round of applause.
Guys. Slow clap.
In light of all this, I think Holly said it best when she said this.
I just want to take this opportunity to say, I fucking told you so.
Now you've got a lot more people ready to work. How are you going to utilize them more?
She doesn't need
With me, to be honest, I'm very much a hands-on person, so I don't. For me, it's more people can stay out of the way. I'm very odd that way. But maybe that's like a weird condition I have. Maybe I should utilize people more. I guess because I'm so used to working by myself. But I'm sure there's ways.
Everybody started chipping in. Lindsay and Ed strongly suggested that I use 2 cameras to make filming go faster. Todd handed over his camera, which happened to be identical to ours, and Noah handed over his memory card for additional space. Even Allison handed over one of her camera batteries. This would mean, however, that Ed would have to give up his role as cloak number 3 and instead be cameraman. So that part was now being handed over to Iron Liz. The other actor, Jim Trokin, who couldn't make it to play cloak number 2, was now being handed over to Jim J. Roz, who's done a lot of camera and Photoshop work for us in the past. The role of the house owner was now going to be played by Lindsay's friend Lisa, who was replacing Victoria from the Bjork show, who sadly couldn't be there on that day as well. But even with all that said, how the hell were we going to explain the weather? How the hell could we film this entire story in the rain? Well, as luck would have it, the sun started to shine again.
Yeah, exactly.
In keeping with most Chicagoans' interpretation of the weather report, which is never listen to the weather report, the sky suddenly did a 180. And though it was cold and still pretty windy, we had more time to get creative with our shot so that we wouldn't show the fact that we're all clearly wearing warm pants.
I honestly don't think. I think if you ever see him with the pants, it's only for like a half second.
Well, the scene where he walks up to Mati and puts his hand on his...
We had more time to get creative with our shot so that we wouldn't show the fact that we're all clearly wearing warm pants.
I honestly don't think. I think if you ever see him with the pants, it's only for like a half second.
Well, the scene where he walks up to Mati and puts his hand on his shoulder, Doug walks down the whole road.
But you're not going to have that whole shot.
But if he just doesn't decide to use that shot, then...
No, he's just going to go to Mati, and like it's going to be like a half second of him walking down.
Well, I think his original plan was to use the whole shot, but I think he's just
really?
cut
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I've also got the shot of him just walking by the camera, which you don't see that. So you get a sense of emotion.
Maybe Doug should, take his pants off more often.
If only.
Most people, they should put the pants back on. Doug should take them off.
I have my pants off. I'm completely naked under this.
We're talking about pants going on and off. Do you have anything to add to this, Lewis?
Only this.
All right, and that's a wrap.
Though several scenes still had to be cut, shooting did go a lot faster. And for the most part, everything went relatively well. Mostly everything.
Ready and go.
Oh! I'm okay. I'm okay.
You sure?
Wow, that hurt.
Well, it is an impressive fall. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
Despite Orlando having a black belt in karate and the fact that we've practiced the flip a few times before, he couldn't help but feel a little concerned that he shouldn't do this.
I just realized, why don't we just use that take the more I think about it? Just boom, 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 but then you just get back up. Can you do the upper flip where you do that cool thing? I can do that. So we just don't show him falling on his ass. No, we do show him falling on his ass, and then you go, ha-ha, and then he gets back up, oh, and whatever, he does an energy thing. Actually, the flip is more
Can we still do the backflip? I'll still do the backflip.
You want to do it, that's on you, dude.
We emphasized to him that we didn't need him to do this, but he said that he was going to do it whether the cameras were rolling or not.
Stop, and you do a count.
It's been a pleasure working with you, Rob.
3,
See you on the other side.
You ready? Just want to clarify, Orlando wants to do this.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Everybody quiet, and go.
1, 2, 3.
We're not doing it on tape.
Putting his hat back on.
High five.
Where do you get this hair?
My dad is from Belize, which is in Central America, next to, most people don't know it.
So it's like tropical hair.
Yeah, but he's got the straight hair. And there's my mom, who's black, so she got that nappy hair.
Ah.
She got that nappy head hair. That's how you got this. And to prove that's correct, my niece is part Belizean, part black as well. Because her father is my half-brother.
I'm sorry, what is Belizean?
Belize.
Belize.
Guatemala, Honduras. And
Gotcha.
My mom
smallest
had
country.
Fargo, you cracker.
We're supposed to be looking that
Hey
way.
guys, is this funeral going on? Can we join it?
Doug, is this the last of the principal for group?
Well, for team 1, yeah. For team 2, we're gonna shoot tomorrow.
Okay. And that's when it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be muddy and
For not all tears are an evil.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's what he says.
so that's done for today?
That's a wrap for Saturday. Fargo's Mati's funeral. You're
I'm
very
dead
much
now.
alive, Fargo, thankfully.
Yes.
As day 4 came, things went a lot smoother. I was behind the camera the whole time, and both Rob and Ed served as second cameramen.
This line was not made for the husky gentleman.
The weather was more accommodating, and for the most part, the group was pretty covered up.
Ha! Take that, you villainous cloak! It's not a cloak! It's not me! I don't care, I can't see a thing! You're looking right.
So we
Jim's gonna
have
have
Rob
you sort
having
of like,
another injury.
fall to the ground
This
and then
was
your
the result
foot's
of
gonna-
Suede.
Nice.
Nice little bump here.
What Was that with a sword or was that?
That was with your scabbard that he was using, and he just at some point just went. New Zealanders are deadly. I think Mormons are like all about the violence or something. It's like, who knew?
Not a proper anniversary unless Rob gets badly hurt.
Yes, it's the curse. It's the curse.
Well, that's the commitment it takes to be a cameraman around here. You have to get right into the action, and I have to thank Rob for that because he's willing to put himself at risk.
Next year, you're a cameraman.
Okay.
They're catching up!
Ready and go.
Vote 2, don't be a hero!
Good. Did you get that? Yeah, I did. Okay. That was a good line.
Is this the first time you're using 2 swords?
Well, professionally.
Plane!
Thank you.
So I want to let everybody know there's a plane.
What? I couldn't hear over the plane!
One other I thought was like...
Try that, see how that works. Boom, boom.
Let's hear the slap.
No, don't turn your head. Don't turn your head.
Actually, yeah, except the one would actually fly out. Okay, I like that.
Look into them. You are now one of us.
We're gonna have the cops called. There's some little girl under there.
You hear that sound? That's the sounds of birds fucking. I thought there was more, but no, that was it. It was just simply birds fucking.
We hit a snag at the last location. Lisa was originally supposed to be duct taped to the wall for one scene, but she started getting lightheaded, and we had to take her down.
Okay, well, we can still use most of this just to like get that black effect, and then redo it more loosely.
Despite her saying, and I'm quoting here, "I want to do it again," we found it much more safe to wrap a taped-up blanket around her and keep her on the nice, comfy couch.
Since they are so nice to let us use the place here, we're going to sign the blanket of tape.
Oh, nice.
All of us are going to sign it.
We're about to get Team 2's finished and about to get pizza. It looks like we only have 2 pickups tomorrow, green screen for Lindsay and Noah. So it looks like production is pretty much wrapped up, at least principal photography. So
excited.
So yeah.
So excited.
Yeah.
Shoot went really well. And yeah, it was a great.
Lewis, Lindsay, and I filmed the ending as well as additional green screen footage, and we finally called it a wrap.
So what do we have here, Lupa?
It's a white chocolate bunny and some other candy.
Oh, is this stuff that you picked up, or?
We got it from Target. It was on sale.
Oh, nice.
The great thing about
Matthew did not do an impression of you.
You haven't done a French impression yet?
No, so if you want to find someone who's not willing to degrade you, this is the one.
But he's British, he has to make fun of me. I know, he's the closest.
But he won't, because that's the kind of man he is.
Don't fight each other.
We're not fighting in that.
Channel Awesome Day Spa.
I had a coupon.
I'm rubbing her feet over here.
Yeah,
You just can't see it off screen. Day's coming to an end, almost. And yeah, we're loading everybody up to hang out at the Walker's house. And it's pretty much their last night here before we all send them off to the airports and trains tomorrow. So yeah, it's nice. Film Brain just left, and now we're just down to hangouts and finishing up crossovers. So overall, pretty good day.
We had the wrap party at my place.
No more dropping beer. That's alcohol abuse.
Ooh.
Hey, do you have a...
Yeah.
A man dressed up here inside the Walker's house?
That's incredible. And it was Thursday. Today is Friday.
A shot of recreation of what Denethor eats in Return of the King. And he's sitting there and like failing to eat the tomato.
Oh my god!
Like just
This is a pretty interesting night.
Very, very hard shoot, and as a lot of you heard before, I mean, I was even thinking of a point where I was like, you know, do I even want to continue this? Because I feel like I was really putting you guys through a lot, and I was saying they deserve better than this. I don't want to go through this. Two things really pulled me through. The first one, number one, is you guys. I mean, you guys, I mean, when I came in and we were going to do that vote and everything, and you guys were just like, no, don't even waste your time, just, you know, we don't need to talk about this, we know, and we would just never, ever, you know, abandon ship like that. I mean, we're totally with you. That, I mean, for me, that's like top 5 best moments on Earth. I mean, that really meant a lot, you guys. I mean, I really mean that. Give yourselves a round. And the other thing that really pulled me through was when I was thinking, you know, maybe dropping the production, was somebody who worked her ass off, and that is Holly.
Yeah.
Because she came in and literally said, not only do I think you can do this, but everyone else thinks you can do this. This is what you're thinking right now is totally wrong. Get in there and, you know, find out. And she was 100% right. And on top of that, she has been practically our mother throughout this whole shoot, getting us food, being very determined. If you look under the bar, Holly, there's actually a little something for you. And coming forward as the second cameraman, I mean, giving up what I'm sure would have been an Oscar-worthy role as Cloak 2. I mean, that really made things move a lot faster, and all of you, I mean, Lindsay and everybody just offering everything that you can, and you know, the advice about using 2 cameras, and both of you, that was a great idea, and just everybody who had a good idea and was just totally on board and really determined. You guys just really made this possible, and I really mean, like I said, top 5 best moments. So again, everybody, I can't thank you more. I can't thank you enough. Give yourselves one more round of applause.